here to give us his perspective on the Duterte impeachment trial and the week that was and the week that will be in Philippine politics. We have our resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas. Thank you for joining the big story once again.
My pleasure.
Dalay
Yes.
Llamas. Okay, unang-una, briefly, about Robin Padilla. Mukha ba siyang the number one re-electionist senator according to the Pulse Asia survey? Medyo kumambyo ba siya sa kanyang statement this morning?
Hindi. Dahil siguro tingin niya, kaya siya number one ay dahil ganun siya. Kaya I doubt kung kakambyo siya in the next few weeks or months. Parang unapologetic siya. At yung survey will strengthen that position. Pero tingin ko naman, hindi naman siya strategy or tactics for Robin. It's more
That's the
about
way
his
he is.
character.
Which is?
Na ganun siya.
Okay, sige, sige.
Gusto mo bang ipaliwanag ko ba?
Oo, ano ba yung character na yun? Should we not challenge him to, I mean, at least
Of course.
study more.
Actually, yung
Take your role more seriously.
tingin ko very pregnant with meaning yung sinabi ng prosecution na ang dapat walang pinapanigan, ang dapat hindi biased ay yung senator judges. That's a mouthful. At doon talagang tagus yun hanggang buto.
O sige, iwan na natin si Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Let's go to the SONA. Everybody is away. It will be on Monday. Ano ba yung expectation mo?
Well, una, ang i-build up dyan ng presidente ay yung upper middle income country na tayo. No? Tingin ko yan yung kanyang cup half full.
Okay.
No? Ang problema ay dahil ito yung first SONA after nung mahiya ka naman SONA, ay marami siya sigurong sasabihin na sana. Sana mas maraming nahuli na big fish, na
Pero,
contractors,
okay.
etc. Pero yung ating judicial system ay mabagal, marami pang preliminary investigation, case build-up ang gagawin. So, tingin ko magpapaliwanag siya ng mahaba sa presinto. No? At ang tingin ko ang elephant in the room, yung other side nitong tinatawag nating upper middle income na tayo. Dahil yung ating economic fundamentals medyo problematic.
Yeah.
Like naiwan tayo ng rehiyon in terms of inflation. Naiwan tayo ng rehiyon in terms of unemployment, in terms of growth rate. Nagsimula yung 2022 na tayo yung fastest growing economy. Ngayon tayo yung slowest growing economy. So marami siyang ipapaliwanag dyan. Of course, ang sasabihin niya ay ito ay lahat ay dahil sa external factors like the Iran war. Pero hindi rin siya totally totoo.
Yeah.
Dahil marami rin tayong mga kakulangan sa ating policies as a nation. Kaya two-edged yung pag sinabi mo na external yung cause nitong ating economic problems. No?
Yung ipagmamalaki niyang upper middle income or middle income, sa ordinaryong Pilipino, parang hindi rin nila ramdam yan eh.
Exactly. Dahil yan, ang tawag natin dyan, functional enhancement.
So paano mo ipagmamalaki yun? Hindi yun...
Well, dahil matagal na yung hinahabol ng mga previous governments.
Actually, during the Duterte
Yes.
administration, they
Yeah.
tried. They
Yes.
tried.
At naunahan na tayo ng Indonesia 5 years ago. Kaya nalampasan na rin tayo ng Vietnam, no? 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Kaya siguro with very few positive developments sa ating ekonomiya, yun yung isa diyan. Pero meron ding downside diyan dahil mawawala dramatically yung ating official development aid. Although sabi nila may transition naman.
Yes.
Pero pag ikaw ay upper middle income na, hindi ka na kinakailangan, hindi ka na bibigyan ng tulong ng mga mayayamang bansa in terms of ODA. Oh.
Mag-a-attend kaya ng SONA si Congressman Martin Romualdez? What do you think?
Tingin ko kung hindi pa siya sasampahan ng kaso. meron pa namang isang araw na natitira bukas. Tingin ko dadalo siya. No? Pero yung nilabas ng ombudsman na nagtangka siyang tumakas, I think that will rankle sa kanya. Na naglabas din ng statement yung kanyang opisina, there's no such an attempt. No? Kaya ibig sabihin, medyo masama loob nila.
I ask because just yesterday, Mike Defensor, former Congressman Mike Defensor was so defiant and said, isunod nyo na si Martin Romualdez. And their demeanor, even Senator Marcoleta, didn't seem at all like, they were worried about the cases they were
Against them.
facing. Where is that attitude of defiance coming from?
Well, partly dahil suportado sila ng isang powerful religious group na sinubukang mag-mobilize ng malaki but failed in doing so. No? Partly dahil yung kanilang kandidato, yung kanilang leader ay nangunguna pa rin sa survey, including some of their friends na senador. No? Siguro upbeat sila. No? At ikatlo ay bagamat tumaas ng 8 percentage points yung gobyerno, negative pa rin yung kanilang approval rating. So perhaps yung mga variables na yan ang nagpapataas ng kanilang confidence. Pero whatever happens, I doubt kung makakalaya sila in the next 2 years.
So they're banking on a VP Sara victory in the 2028 election.
Yes, dahil ang tingin nila ay katulad na nangyari in the past. Yung mga nakulong nung panahon ni Pinoy ay napalaya nung panahon ni Digong. No? Kaya siguro umaasa sila. But then again, 2 years in prison is still 2 years in prison.
And, well, yeah. And we remember GMA pardoning former President Estrada.
Yes. And GMA din, nakalaya din. Nakulong siya ng panahon ni Pinoy, nakalaya siya
So
ng panahon
parang
ni Digong.
weather-weather lang.
Ganun ang tingin nila.
Ang tingin nila.
Oo.
Let's go to that survey that shows, hindi ka nagulat, VP Sara really lording it over.
Well, not really. Una, yung survey na kinundak was before impeachment. Ikalawa,
Pero na-transmit na sa Senado yung impeachment, articles of impeachment, plus nag-hearing na ng kihaba-haba ang Justice Committee ng House.
Yes, like last year.
Yeah.
Last year, na-transmit din, hindi naman nagbago yung numbers niya. Ikalawa, ay practically it's the same survey nung previous survey. Hindi naman siya tumaas eh. Tumaas siya ng 2%, that's within the margin of error. So in a way, plateau pa rin siya. Since nung nag-announce siya na tatakbo for president. Hindi siya tumaas, hindi siya bumaba, walang bump. No? Ikatlo ay minimeasure siya against the government na negative yung approval rating. Natural, mas mataas siya. Diba? Ikaapat, aside from her, wala pa naman nagsasabi na tatakbo for president. So wala pang
Real rival.
yeah, na i-measure siya against no doon, no. Pero ang alam ko may isang survey na ginawa doon na na-cover na yung first week ng impeachment, lalabas yan over the weekend at mukhang yung teaser ay bumaba siya. Ibig sabihin may simula ng initial impact na yung impeachment sa kanyang numbers. Makikita natin yan over the weekend. 2 days time. So,
Before the President Sona.
yes.
Parang timing.
Yes, oo. Dahil yung mga previous survey kasi before the SONA, no? Before the SONA, before
the
the
impeachment. Yeah.
Oo.
So we will see that it's starting to hurt.
Could be. Hindi ko pa nakita itong survey na ito. Nabalitaan ko lang. Napalabas na at saka in general terms ay bumaba siya.
Itong pangalawang article of impeachment na ilalatag ng prosecution, because the first was yung grave threats nga, nakita na rin natin in
Yung
a way.
bribery.
Oo. Hindi, yung COA, yung misuse
Yung
of confidential
confidential funds.
Oo.
Oo.
So, do you think wala pa ring tama yun?
Well, ang bago dyan, si Madriaga, na ang sabi ni Vice President, never pa niya na-meet at hindi niya kilala, pero later on, napatunayan, na-meet na niya at saka kakilala niya. No, pero sabi niya, hindi credible witness. Let's see. Dahil ang sabi ni Madriaga, hindi lang 11 days inubos yung 120 million one day. So, papakinggan natin, ano ba yung kanyang smoking gun tungkol dyan. Ikalawa, yung iba kasi hindi na bago. Yung COA report, Notice of Disallowance. Siguro ang bago dyan, ipapatawag as witness si Piatos. No?
Yun na nga eh. Yung gambit na yan, anong ibig sabihin?
Ang mukhang habol din ng prosecution,
Parang she doesn't
there
exist.
is no such person, no? Yan yung kanilang gambit diyan, no? Kaya, pero, ang mahalaga yung Monday session ng impeachment na dinesisyonan na isasubpoena yung bank accounts.
Right.
Yan yung pinakamahalaga
Right.
perhaps dito sa impeachment na ito before the actual voting. Dahil nanalo yung desisyon na bubuksan or yung kanyang bank account isasubpoena at ililift yung bank secrecy laws.
Right.
Although, hindi nagbotohan.
Yes.
Dahil kung nagbotohan, magiging indicative yan to some extent doon sa magiging botohan sa dulo.
Pero may mga nag-indicate na that they will send their written dissent or comments.
Yeah. Mga lima.
Senator Loren Legarda, Senator Camille Villar, the two Cayetanos, and I
Aimee.
forget, Aimee. So 5 yon.
Surprisingly, may dalawa na hindi sumama.
Si Senator Bongo and Senator Mark Villar. O anong indication nun?
It's an indication na baka soft yung dalawa.
But if you also submit your dissent or indicate your dissent to that decision, doesn't necessarily mean rin naman na boboto ka, you will absolve the Vice President.
Not necessarily, pero yung indications, yung leaning mo, malinaw. Diba? Because the bank accounts is the most important component nitong impeachment. Kaya ngayon yung naging battleground last Monday. Ang kulang lang yung actual na botohan. Na
Oo nga
very interesting na makita.
But I guess they thought, it's not naman as if the presiding officer decided that on his own. They had a caucus.
Yes.
So they heard,
Yes.
they heard.
Although hindi nila aaminin. No.
Okay, now let's go back to the SONA. Itong conflict with China will be probably in the President's State of the Nation address also.
Yes, may sinabi yung presidenteng reset, although hindi natin alam kung anong ibig sabihin nun. No? May increasing aggression, may lumalabas na may provisional agreement na dinedenay ng gobyerno, pero inamin ng Chinese ambassador na meron, kaya kami nag-react dahil nilabag nyo yung ating pinagkasunduan na provisional agreement. Kaya nasa hot water ngayon ng DFA. Ano ba yung provisional agreement na yan na dinedenay ng Secretary of National Defense?
Walang kinalaman ng Defense Department.
Dapat meron. Dapat meron. No? Pero yun yung isa. Kalawa, tayo ang chairman ng ASEAN. At hinahabol natin na makadalo si Xi Jinping na hindi dumadalo sa ASEAN. No? So perhaps may ganong klaseng tactical softening. No? At dito sa
Do we
ating
need
posisyon, no, we don't need that. Pero baka yun yung kanilang agenda.
Why?
Na during
Para lang we just
during,
hosted him?
Well, during our watch, umupo yung Chinese president at posible magkaroon ng code of conduct. No, yung kanilang agenda. Pero sigurado ko, hindi papayag ang China sa isang code of conduct na ang term of reference ay yung arbitral award ng UNCLOS sa atin. Na yun naman ang ating minimum.
Yeah.
Diba?
So what's odd? Tama ito kay BBM.
Depende sa handling niya. Kung i-maintain niya yung ating posisyon na suportado tayo ng international law laban dito sa 9, 10, 11 dash line ng China. Therefore, we don't need a provisional agreement dahil ating teritoryo ito. Kung may maintain niya yan, tingin ko sa Filipino people, lalakas ang kanyang suporta. Lalo na ngayon, na negative yung kanyang approval rating.
And also, if he frames it against the VP who is leaning
Towards
China.
Yeah.
And what's at stake for us in 2028?
Yes.
I wonder bakit hindi yan ginagamit na issue.
Well, nung midterm election, nung campaign, mukhang ginamit niya eh. Ang problema, siya lang ang gumamit. Yung kanyang buong senatorial slate, hindi ginamit.
So, ibig sabihin, may kaba pa rin ang mga iba sa ganitong issue. Are they because they're beholden to China? Or they don't want to? Or ayaw nilang galitin? O ano bang...
It could be all of the above. Dahil meron pa rin tayong mga big business na link sa China. Lalo na yung mga malls na 90% ng kanilang binebenta galing sa China. Yung mga Divisoria, yung mga Baklaran, no? etc. Yung mga negosyante na nakatali dyan. No? Ikalawa, ayaw din nilang magalit sa kanila yung China dahil, halimbawa, yung number one SOCMED platform natin, yung TikTok, pwedeng i-weaponize laban sa kanila yon dahil ang may-ari noon ay China. Ikatlo, baka kinakabahan sila na baka tulungan ng China yung kanilang mga kalaban. Na ayon sa chismis, pumapasok na yung tulong ng China, no? Doon sa kalaban ng gobyerno. No? So,
nakikita mo ba to sa impeachment trial? Sa
hindi pa ganun ka-apparent, no? Dahil mas iba pa yung mga issues. Pero posible na sumulpot yan later on.
Okay, finally, mabalik tayo sa flood control. Because ito yung issue ng selective justice ng kampo ni
Yes.
VP Sara. How will the President explain this? He's in a tough spot kasi wala talaga siya masyadong marireport sa taong bayan.
Hindi ko alam. Ano yung papaliwanag? Dahil ang pwede lang niyang gawin ay magsimula na siyang magpakulong. Yung mga pinurumisan niyang
hindi na nga eh.
mga contractors na 15.
He
Yung
can't-
pinurumisan niyang 67 congressmen na involved dito sa mga anomalous transactions na ito.
He cannot dictate naman to the ombudsman because it's an independent constitutional body.
Well, he cannot
Can he
dictate.
say, I'm giving Ombudsman Boying Remulla 1 month?
Pero
Something like
yung
that.
ombudsman na ang nagpromisa last year pa eh.
Oo nga eh.
Last December, before Christmas, last March, last May, last week.
Maybe it's the ombudsman that should report to us on Monday. Ahead of the SONA.
Yes. Kaya doon sa usapin na yan, hindi ko sigurado anong sasabihin ng presidente.
Eh,
Dahil
sabi, expect something, a surprise, sabi ni Yusek Claire Castro.
yung, yung ganun surprise? O yung ganun? Depende.
Ikaw, porque
Ano klaseng surprise?
a lovely show na yung dinadala mo dito.
Hindi
Next
nga,
time, pag nag-guest
very
ka.
behave nga ako, hindi mo napapansin. Hindi naman, sa lovely show, unhinged ko ron eh.
Oo nga, kung ano-ano mga
Kumakain pa akong
costume
saging.
mo. Or meron ka pang wig na...
Kamukha nung kwan, yung
Ano?
unggoy na pinakita ng China. Yun ang attire ko eh.
Yun ba?
Yun ang attire ko.
Hindi ko na-gets.
Hindi mo na-gets. Napaka-slow mo naman.
Okay, we'll let you go. Look, always a pleasure having you here. That was One News political pundit Ronald Llamas.